Hi, and welcome to this video. Here, I will try to give you some practical tips on how to export your products. If you're watching this, I assume you already know the importance of exporting and you decided to focus to the US. Congrats, you are already halfway there. This video will tell you which information you should look for and where you can find them. First off, country information. It is really important to know your target market so that you can better meet the needs of your customers. To do that, we suggest you to look into the demographics, and some really great websites to do that are Census and Statista. And for example, on Census, which is a government database, you can find information about your target population and analyze factors such as age, race, gender, and so that you know your target market and you can better understand what they need. Statista is also a good website, and here you can find more information also about the economic status and political situation. These are all the information that you can find divided by topic. Other than the demographic, you should also understand the market that you want to target, and you should examine your products and the demand for your products. Also, if you want to target a specific population, then you will need to know which is the product that is already there and it's available to the market, and if you can provide a unique product to them. To understand how well the specific market is doing, you should also check the domestic sales and the market performance. The second thing to look for when exporting is looking for clients and competitors. First, you should understand which are your clients. In this case, when exporting, you can sell to wholesalers, retailers, government agencies, or directly to consumers. And you should analyze your product and find which clients would be best suitable for your product, so that you can sell even more. After you realized which is your target customers, then you will need to analyze your competitors. And to do that, you can do some Google search, and we selected some great tools that will be very useful for you. And the first one is Google Trends. And if we are planning, for example, to export wine to the US, we will look for the word wine. And here it will show us where the term is most looked after. And so we will understand where are the people that are most interested into this product, such as wine. And yeah, you have a big picture of the US, and here it shows you where is this word most search for. And first one is District of Columbia, and then we have Pennsylvania. Here, if we look for Pennsylvania, it will show us in which area this word is most searched on Google. And also we have some related queries together with the word. And so you can find your niche and understand what the people are interested in and are looking for in this website. Another great tool is Google Keyword Tool. This is very useful for SEO, and it will help you choose the right keywords so that you can rank in the highest result list of after a Google search. Another website that is very, very interesting, especially if you're looking to analyze other competitors and to find more information about the market, is Google Shopping. So, for example, if I want to export wine, I can see which wine is selling the most in the US, and which price, and related items such as glass. Also, another good way to see how well the market is doing and if people are interested is to see if and how many reviews there are about a certain product, and that will make you understand how many people are actually interested in the product, and if they're talking about it, this is a good sign of a very prominent market. And also social media, if people are following the pages and if people are interacting and liking and commenting, this is also a good sign. And really related to the market is the digital development. This is basically how many people have access to internet and how many devices or internet devices there are for each person. And you can find this information also on census, which is quite useful because you understand how many people can have access to an e-commerce, for example, or how many people buy online, and all this type of information will also determine your strategy when exporting, because you can direct your marketing and better develop your business. A very popular website to build an e-commerce is Shopify, and but you can also develop your own e-commerce through your developer. Packaging and branding. This is quite important topic when exporting, because especially to the US, there are specific regulations that all imported products have to go through. And the first one is the Agent Food Facility Registration. And this is possible through the FDA website, which is the Food and Drug Administration. And this is the agency of the US government that regulates all the food produced in the US, but also imported foods. And here you have some information for registering your facilities when you are deciding to export your products to the US. You have to be registered under their website, and you can easily do that by their website. And here there is all the information that you will need to register. Of course, the food production in the US is regulated by the FDA, and also imported goods has to meet the same requirements as food produced and sold in the US. To find more information about food requirements, you can also check out the FDA website. And here they have all the information about food regulations and especially on food imports here, and labeling information that we will go through now. Because another requirement for imported foods is specific labeling information and the nutritional factors. So you can find more information about food labeling in this website. You can easily download the guide that will let you know all the rules and all the things you have to take care when labeling your product for exporting. Another important registration that you have to provide is the FSVP registration. And you can create your account on the website and actually provide information about your facility when exporting your products. Import and distribution channels is very crucial for exporting, especially between the EU and the US, because there is no free trade agreement, and that means that products are subject to tariff. To know your specific tariff, you can go through the US trade and tariff data. This is a database that will give you the specific tariff you will have to pay when exporting a specific product to the US. So this is a website, and under tariff, you can click on tariff database. And here you will want to search for your products that you want to export. For example, if we are thinking about exporting olive oil to the US, we will look for olive oil and then click on list of items. And this is the result. You can see virgin olive oil in its fractions, whether or not refined, not chemically modified, weighing under 18 kilograms, or olive oil other than virgin olive oil. So, for example, if we pick virgin olive oil, we go here and you can see the tariff treatment for the countries. And yeah, this is also quite important data when looking at the market, because it tells you the custom value of recent US imports for consumption. And this might be very interesting for you when exporting. Regarding the EU, since there is no free trade agreement, the European Union is subject to a tariff that is called the most favored nation. And this means that for each unit for component, we have a 0.05 cent of US dollar tariff. And this is quite important thing to consider when exporting, because your product will be subject to this tariff, and you will have to calculate your margin and understand your final earnings with this with the tariff. Also, presentation of the products is quite important for the market, and customer requirements. You can check out customer requirements on the Customs and Border Protection's website of the US. And here you will find all the information you need about the requirement and rules for custom. US ports also require a prior notice, which means that you will have to notify the port 8 hours, at least 8 hours in advance, that before your product is arriving. And you can do that by looking at this website of the FDA, and you can provide your prior notice through the system. Here, there are all the information that you need to submit the prior notice. Also, when trying to find the best location when exporting, you can look at the map, and when clicking at the map, you will have the possibility to find your broker. So for each port, you will have the possibility to to find a specific agency that is willing to take your product from the port. This is it for this presentation, and I hope you liked it, and I wish you all the best for your exporting journey to the US.